This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
(6:45). This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by J. Yogaraj and read by Geetanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. The National Operations Centre to Prevent COVID-19 says that quarantine curfew will be imposed island-wide from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. daily. Weddings will not be permitted at homes or halls. All provincial boundaries are strictly monitored. State Minister Dr. Channa Jayasumana says around 300,000 persons of over 60 years have not received their vaccine so far, citing various reasons. The new education channel Vision FM was launched yesterday by the SLBC with the aim of uplifting education of the children. The channel is broadcast on FM 102.1 and FM 102.3. It is broadcast daily from 4 a.m. till midnight for 20 hours. Daily COVID cases count climbs to 3,414 yesterday as deaths spike by 167. An appeal from the Mayor of Colombo. News from overseas, Afghanistan, US takes control of Kabul airport to evacuate staff. Sports news, India won the second test match against England in a dramatic finish. Local news in detail now. National Operations Centre to Prevent COVID-19 says that quarantine curfew will be imposed island-wide from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. Army Commander General Shavendra Silva says that it will be effective daily until further notice. Only persons involved in essential services are permitted to travel during that time. Meanwhile, weddings have been prohibited until further notice from today. Weddings will not be permitted at homes or halls. The Army Commander has requested the public to support the measures taken to prevent the spread of COVID-19. National Operations Centre to Prevent COVID-19, all provincial boundaries are strictly monitored. This is in line with the decision to impose strict travel restrictions between the provinces. The inter-provincial travel is restricted. The travel is allowed only for essential services with the mandatory requirement of relevant documents to be presented at the checkpoint. State Minister Dr. Channa Jayasumana says around 300,000 persons of over 60 years have not received their vaccine so far, citing various reasons. Those individuals are identified. The government focuses on providing the vaccine to those people. The process will be expedited. The State Minister also requests those individuals to come forward to receive the vaccine without delay. The new education channel Vision FM was launched yesterday by the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation with the aim of uplifting education of children. This channel is broadcast on FM 102.1 and FM 102.3. It is broadcast daily from 4 a.m. till midnight for 20 hours. 65% of airtime will be used to teach subjects and 35% to teach non-subject matters. The channel is broadcast jointly with Media and Education Ministry. The radio channel was officially launched today under the patronage of the Secretary to the Ministry and Mass Media, Jagath Vijayveera. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa extended his greetings to the new channel. Ministers Keheliya Rabukkala, G.L. Piris, State Ministers Sita Arambepola, Susil Premajayantha and P.R. Nishantha also extended their greetings. Secretary to the Mass Media Ministry Jagath Vijayveera said that children should move forward with the radio. Chairman of the Rupawahini Corporation, Reginald Kurai, said that Rupawahini is also telecasting education programs for children. Director General of the Rupawahini Corporation, Jayampati Bandara Hinkenda, said that Rupawahini Corporation is telecasting education programs with SLBC. Director General of SLBC Chandrapal Aliyange said that airtime will be allocated for educational programs in the future as well. He said that Studio 2 has been allocated for the purpose. The programs are implemented under the guidance of the SLBC Chairman Hudson Samarasinghe. Leader of the House, Minister Dinesh Gunawardena, says that the Parliament will only meet today. The decision has been taken at the party leaders' meeting yesterday, which was held under the patronage of Speaker Mahindayappa Abeyewardena. Draft bills relevant to COVID will be taken up for debate today. The epidemiology unit of the Health Ministry reports that another 986 persons have tested positive for COVID-19 in Sri Lanka, moving the daily total of new cases to 3,414. This brings the total number of confirmed cases of coronavirus reported in the country to 362,074. As many as 312,057 recoveries have been confirmed in Sri Lanka since the outbreak of the pandemic. The epidemiology unit's data showed that 43,921 active cases are currently under medical care. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka has registered 167 more COVID-19 related fatalities yesterday, August 16th. The new development has pushed the official death toll from the virus outbreak in Sri Lanka to 6,263. According to the data released by the Department of Government Information, the latest victims confirmed today includes 103 males and 64 females. Reportedly, among the victims are one male aged below 30 years, 36 victims aged between 30 to 59 years, and 130 others aged 60 and above. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
A giant interest rate for your fixed deposit that you deposit this month. Call 0718 800 999.
Mayor of Colombo, Rosie Senanayake, has issued an urgent message to residents of the city of Colombo and those visiting the city in view of the prevailing COVID-19 situation. She says that Sri Lanka is at a critical point in the battle against the spread of COVID-19 and that it's no secret that the number of COVID patients and related fatalities are at the highest levels since the epidemic hit the country. The mayor said that the government is doing its best to manage the situation, but the health system is severely stretched and health officials are struggling to cope. She said, and I quote, "This is not unique to Sri Lanka, as we have seen how the health system of even the most developed economies struggled to cope with the epidemic," unquote, the mayor added. The mayor also requested the public to be extremely vigilant and cautious in their activities. She stated that the authorities will and are doing their best to keep the people safe. She said, and I quote, "But they cannot succeed if individuals and institutions act irresponsibly. It is shocking to see people putting the lives of many at risk by acting with sheer disregard for the current situation," she said, unquote. The health officials say that more than 16.5 million vaccine doses have been endorsed in Sri Lanka so far. Around 11.8 million have been given as the first dose. 4.6 million people have been fully vaccinated at present with 2 doses. Many vaccination centers are carried out island-wide today as well. And that ends local news.
Now, get your EPF loan information and service details via SMS from HDFC Bank. Wherever you are, being a state and private sector employee, to obtain EPF loan information and service details, just send a SMS mentioning EPF space name and region to 0718 800 999. HDFC Bank, the bank for your home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
In the main news story, Director of Health Promotion Bureau Specialist Dr. Ranjit Batuantudava says those in the age group 2 to 65 without any allergy or other complications are eligible for residential care in case of corona infection. The treatment method is well devised and circulated among the general public, he added. And that was our main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
In Watchlight, police have provided a telephone number for the general public to report information regarding any activities related to child labour in the Colombo city or suburbs. Police media spokesman said a special operation was initiated recently in the Colombo city and suburbs in the Western province to nab offenders. He said that if the public have any information in respect of child labour, they are requested to provide such information to the Colombo Emergency Centre via its telephone number 0112 433 333. That's 0112 433 333. That came to you in Watchlight, and moving on to a bulletin of world news. In the headlines, news from Afghanistan, US takes control of Kabul airport to evacuate staff. Haiti earthquake, death toll climbs as tropical storm nears. Zambia election, Haken Hichilema beats President Edgar Lungu. World news in detail now. There have been scenes of panic at Kabul airport as desperate residents try to flee following the seizure of the Afghan capital by the Taliban. The US Army says soldiers shot 2 armed men while 3 people are reported to have died after falling from the underside of a plane they were clinging to shortly after takeoff. The airport was closed earlier for soldiers to try and clear the runways. US military planes are now landing, including one carrying US Marines. Rescue workers are rushing to locate survivors of the deadly earthquake that struck Haiti on Saturday as a tropical storm is heading towards the Caribbean nation. At least 1,419 people are known to have died in the 7.2 magnitude quake, and an unknown number are still missing. The tropical depression Grace is expected to pass over the worst affected area later yesterday. Zambian opposition leader Haken Hichilema has been declared the winner of last week's bitterly contested presidential election. Mr. Hichilema defeated the incumbent president Edgar Lungu by a landslide more than 1 million votes. It was Mr. Hichilema's 6th attempt at winning the presidency. His supporters have been celebrating on the streets of the capital Lusaka. Mr. Lungu has accepted defeat and congratulated Mr. Hichilema. To end this bulletin of world news, back to the headlines. News from Afghanistan, US takes control of Kabul airport to evacuate staff. Haiti earthquake, death toll climbs as tropical storm nears. Zambia election, Haken Hichilema beats President Edgar Lungu. And that ends world news.
Development News is brought to you by
Quality matters than price. So as an engineer, I recommend Melba RB500. It's made with virgin billets using the latest technology. Melba RB500, number 1 in Sri Lanka. Truly Sri Lankan.
CIB Janajay Vasana creates more and more 100,000 rupee winners every second. Valuable gifts for your bills till 31st August. Win amazing hand tractors for your over 3,000 rupees bills at the monthly draw. CIB.
In development news, State Minister for Fisheries sector plans to provide industrial training to the fishing folk with the purpose of improving the fishing technology. The training program will be carried out with the support of NITA. And that was development news.
Development News was brought to you by
Quality matters than price. So as an engineer, I recommend Melba RB500. It's made with virgin billets using the latest technology. Melba RB500, number 1 in Sri Lanka. Truly Sri Lankan.
CIB Janajay Vasana creates more and more 100,000 rupee winners every second. Valuable gifts for your bills till 31st August. Win amazing hand tractors for your over 3,000 rupees bills at the monthly draw. CIB.
In sports news, it's cricket. Another overseas test, another flourish from India's lower order. Jasprit Bumrah's day began as a batter in a hostile environment. By the end of the day, he and Mohammad Shami had turned the pressure around on England so swiftly and clinically that the hosts, who were in control of the game coming into the last day, folded in the final hour as India went 1-0 up in the series. India won the second test match against England by 151 runs. It was an exciting finish where the Indian bowlers brought up a splendid performance amid many challengers and under difficult circumstances. Scores. India batted first and made 364 in their first innings and declared their second innings at 298 for 8. England, in reply, made 391 in their first essay and were bowled out for a mere 120 runs. India lead 1-0 in the 5-match series. That was sports news.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Savings account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Business news. First Capital Holdings PLC, a member of the Janashakti Group, recorded a profit after tax of 136 million rupees for the first quarter of 2021. That's first quarter of 2021-2022 compared to 1.46 billion rupees in the corresponding period in the previous year. The results are attributed to lower contribution of trading income of the group's primary dealer division, whereas the substantial easing of the monetary policy measures was experienced during the corresponding period of the previous year. That was business news.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money. Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Savings account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
Economic news. Courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
In economic news, Access Engineering PLC, engineering company, interim financial statements for the 3 months ended 30th June 2021 saw them record an impressive after-tax profit of 550 million rupees at the company level for the quarter, with a corresponding year-on-year increase of 162%, indicating the bouncing back of operations despite the challenges posed by the current pandemic. Group after-tax profits for the 3 months stood at 517 million rupees against a corresponding after-tax profit of 43 million rupees in 2020-2021. And that was economic news.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
In the weather report, the Met Department says showers will occur at times in the Western and Sabaragamuwa provinces and in the Kandy and Nuwara districts. Showers will occur at several places in the Northwestern province and in the Galle and Mathura districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in the Uva province and in the Ampara and Batticaloa districts during the evening or at night. Fairly strong winds up to 40 to 50 kilometers per hour can be expected at times in the Hambantota district. General public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damages caused by temporarily localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. This weather report was published this morning at 4:30 a.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. Meanwhile, the international weather forecast website AccuWeather.com predicts that Colombo weather would be generally bright and during the day, but there will be cloudy weather in the afternoon. Today's daytime temperature would be around 29 degrees Celsius. There will be light showers in many places in the Colombo district in the night. Tonight's temperature will be around 26 degrees Celsius and there will be scattered showers in selected spots late in the night. The ground temperature would be 27 degrees Celsius at the time of this news broadcast. The air quality index AQI is 16, which shows a fair condition in Colombo. The air quality is generally acceptable for most individuals. And that was the weather report.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
To end this news broadcast, back to the headlines. The National Operations Centre to Prevent COVID-19 says that quarantine curfew will be imposed island-wide from 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. daily. Weddings will not be permitted at homes or halls. All provincial boundaries are strictly monitored. State Minister Dr. Channa Jayasumana says around 300,000 persons above 60 years have not received their vaccine so far, citing various reasons. The new education channel Vision FM was launched yesterday by the SLBC with the aim of uplifting education of the children. The channel is broadcast on FM 102.1 and FM 102.3. It is broadcast daily from 4 a.m. till midnight for 20 hours. Daily COVID cases count climbed to 3,414 yesterday as deaths spike by 167. An appeal from the Mayor of Colombo. News from overseas: Afghanistan, US takes control of Kabul airport to evacuate staff. In sports, India won the second test match against England in a dramatic finish. With that, we end this news broadcast.